I want to tell you one thing. The concept of state in political science is different than what we use in general sense. You can understand it after the discussion of the topic. Now we go on the topic. In dear students, in political science, state is an institution having high status. Different political thinkers defined it differently. According to Wilson, state is a people organized for law within the definite territory. Number two, according to Aristotle, state is a union of families and villages having a happy and honorable life. Number three, according to Ogbar, state is an organization which rules by means of a supreme government over the definite territory. Now, dear students, by these definitions we come to conclusion that state consists four essential elements: population, definite territory, government, and sovereignty. First, population. Population is the first essential element of the state. Humans make the state. Dear students, we cannot think about the state without the population. About the population, about the size of population, different political thinkers gave their opinions. Plato suggested state should have at least 5,000 people. Rousseau suggested state should have at least 10,000 people. The father of political science, Aristotle, did not give any number, any definite number. He said state should not too smaller, neither too smaller nor too large. Now, our next point is definite territory. Dear students, definite territory is a physical element of the state. No state can exist without the definite territory. For example, Jews had no definite territory up to the 1948. After the 1948, they got some Palestinians. They got some parts from Palestinians, and they formed their own state, Israel. Definite territory not includes only land, but it includes air, water, space, and natural resources. Third essential element is government. Dear students, government is a political element of the state. Population occupying a definite territory cannot form a state. As you know, government maintains law and order. Government fulfills our needs. Government provides us social, economic, political opportunities. Government can be of the many types. Dear students, monarchy government, aristocracy government, democracy government. First two, the monarchy and aristocracy government. In this form of the governments, rulers are not elected through elections. They hold their chairs on the basis of their power and wealth. Next, democracy. We are well aware about the democracy form of the government because we are the citizens of the democratic country. We know in democracy government it is the people's government because people choose their government by their votes. Our fourth essential element is sovereignty. Sovereignty, dear students, sovereignty means a khud mukhtai in Urdu. Sovereignty is the most powerful, most important element of the state. It is the supreme, fundamental, original, and indivisible power. It is the direct power through which the state controls to all persons, associations, and organizations within the definite territory. Dear students, sovereignty grants the power to maintain independent foreign relations. Sovereignty has two aspects. Dear students, number one, internal sovereignty. Number two, external sovereignty. Internal sovereignty means the supreme power of the state to command to all persons, associations, and organizations which are existing within the definite territory. It implies there should be no rival or the parallel authority which compete with the state. Dear students, everyone must be to obey the commands of the state. None can dare disobey to it. Now, second, external sovereignty. Dear students, it means the state is free from foreign control and directions. External sovereignty makes the state external sovereignty makes the state independent. External sovereignty makes the state independent of any interference on the other part of the states. Dear students, dear students, now I want to give a test dose. I write something on the board. Tell me, are these states? You boy, you are responding good. No doubt. They have a population. They have a territory. They have a government. But all they are lacking one important element, that is sovereignty. Dear students, they cannot make independent foreign relations. Dear students, they have no powers to make defense deal with other countries. Dear students, they have no powers to print their own currency. Now, we cannot call them states in political science. We call them integral part of the Indian states. Okay, thank you.